Well, it looks like the markets are still reeling after the new Chancellor announced huge tax cuts at the end of last week. Of course, there are a few factors at play, but today the pound plunged to its lowest value ever against the dollar. Let's take a look at some of those numbers for you. You can see around 2 o'clock this morning, the huge drop. That's when the markets in Asia opened. And over the course of the day, the value went back up before taking another sharp drop just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. So why is that? Well, we know the security of energy and recession across Europe is having an impact. But traders are said to be particularly concerned about those tax cuts announced by Kwasi Kwarteng, particularly how they'll be funded and how much debt the government will get into as a result. The Chancellor has just said he'll announce a much called for tax plan to help reinforce the economy, and that will come in late November. But until then, what does all that mean for us? Well, Katherine Nash has been to one business which will be counting the cost.
On the production line today, melons imported from Brazil. They'll be sliced and then dried before being turned into crisps. Bought from a distributor using American dollars, but with the pound at an all-time low, it'll have a big impact on business.
Well, we import 40% of all the fruit and vegetables we process is imported. So things like citrus fruit, pineapple, kiwi, most of those are paid in dollars. And so when we have the pound that's dropping and the conversion rate so low, that's a real problem for us. That immediately hikes up the cost of our products.
The pound's demise is a reaction to the government's announcement last Friday of large tax cuts, which it says will help increase growth, but will be paid for by borrowing billions of pounds.
The immediate catalyst is the Chancellor's mini-budget on Friday, when financial markets took fright at the additional borrowing and began to question the foundations of the UK economy. And they're doing that because the long-term picture of a country that spends more than it earns and imports more than it exports means that, to quote a former governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney, we're reliant upon the kindness of strangers.
And with more borrowing comes forecasts of higher interest rates, which will make some goods even more expensive. Things like petrol, food, clothes, gas and technology, as well as the cost of holidays abroad.
But there's every chance that the weaker pound is going to make life more expensive, because it means that the price of imports into this country, commodities priced in dollars, are more expensive. So we're talking about things like fuel. So prices at the pumps are likely to stay higher for longer. Also, prices of raw materials and ingredients imported from abroad are also going to be more expensive.
But despite the extra expense, firms like this one have got no choice but to keep production going. The weak pound, yet another financial challenge it's got to meet, putting strain on business at a time when things are already tough. Katherine Nash, 5 News.